good to have you guys on GStube TV today. I am your favorite TV host as usual. I am Hakrizi from GStube TV. And of course, before I dive into today's information, I'd like to say a big shout out to everybody that have been subscribing, all our subscribers, all our followers on our social media platforms. We appreciate you guys. We love you. You guys are the real MVPs. And if you are just tuning in, do well to click on the subscribe button. It's cost nothing, and do well to click on the notification bell to get notified whenever we drop new videos, so that you keep updates. And as you all know, on this platform we get to dish out gist informations necessary for you to keep up trendings in Nigeria, in Africa, in the world at large. Well, as we all know that the federal government of Nigeria disbursed 20,000 naira per household, to all the citizens in Nigeria. Well, it's no news that the federal government of Nigeria has started disbursing the 20,000 naira conditioned cash transfer to poor households across the country. The disbursement is said to have started at Kwali Area Council in Abuja. According to the Minister of Humanitarian Affairs, Disaster Management and Social Development, Sadia Umar Farouk, the federal government would be giving out the sum of 20,000 naira to each person for the next 4 months as a way of cushioning the effects of the coronavirus pandemic. The disbursement is part of the federal government's effort that is aimed at helping vulnerable Nigerians get through the lockdown directive given by President Muhammadu Buhari following the spread of COVID-19 pandemic in the country. Speaking on the strategy being used to locate and disperse the funds on Channels TV, Umar Farouk said, "We have directed immediate cash transfer to the poorest and the most vulnerable households in the country. But for the COVID-19, the vulnerable groups have to expand because we are aware that there are people who live on daily wage. So we are also going to look at those group of people to see how we can get this food relief intervention to them in this period." She further explained that the President had said during his broadcast last week that the conditional cash transfer should be given in advance of 2 months. Meanwhile, Nigerians have taken to Twitter to react since the President made the announcement that funds would be disbursed to poor and vulnerable households. Nigerians have wondered what it means to be poor and vulnerable, judging by the government's yardstick, and why the areas where the disbursements would be taking place have not been disclosed. While some asked if the federal government has a database for the poor, others believed the funds should be for every Nigerian and should be disbursed using their bank accounts and BVN numbers. Well, I believe what the Nigerian government is trying to do is a very good one, just to make the poor, the needy, the vulnerables get through these harsh times, especially the harsh time caused by lockdown as a result of COVID-19, coronavirus pandemic that locked down the world. Everybody's staying indoor for quite some time now. People can't go to work, they can't access their source of income, and we keep having expenses daily. Now, how do we get through this? The federal government of Nigeria came out to disburse 20,000 naira per household to the poor, to the needy, to the vulnerables. The vulnerables, those that are sick, those in the hospital, those with heart problems, kidney problems, lungs issues, even the COVID-19 patients themselves, and also the poor, the needy, those that even earn daily, all these wage people. Then what is the yardstick for defining a poor Nigerian? So many people believe that we have 40% poverty rate in Nigeria. Then if you now feel 20,000 naira for just how many people? God knows, 10 million, 10.7 million population. I think that is quite small. However, the presidency announced recently that it has identified 10,695,360 individuals in 35 states across the country as the poorest and most vulnerable Nigerians during this crisis of COVID-19 pandemic. I believe even if the Nigerian government is right about the fact that those that are poor and vulnerable are 10,695,360 individuals in Nigeria are poor and are vulnerable. How do they get these funds to them? What about those without bank accounts? What about those that doesn't have shelter? What about those that are jobless? What about those that have no shelter, probably live under the bridge? What about them? What about those that are in the village, especially the northerners? Most of them are stark illiterate. Most of them are uneducated. Most of them don't have bank accounts. How do they make sure that these people get their funds? How do they make sure that these people actually get what they actually deserve? It would also be best to provide a detailed account of the areas in focus, and it will be unfair to think that only the northern part of Nigeria have poor and vulnerable households. Of course, because in the south, the southeast, southwest, central, we have so many. Even in the Yoruba land, the Igbo lands, we have the poor and the vulnerables. How do they ascertain that these are those that are poor, these are this, and these are that? We need to be more exact, in this kind of scenario, so that those that actually need these funds will get it. A Twitter user even said, and I quote, "I am a rural development expert who has been working with rural poor for more than 17 years, and I can categorically tell you that you have not captured the poor. I know in northern Nigeria because most of them don't even have bank accounts." Just what I said, not going long. Now, how do they get these funds to all the northerners who are poor and vulnerable? Talking about the northerners, federal government cash sharing shows in Anambra laughable and deceitful. Some Igbo groups said, the sharing of money is throughout the country, and this money reached Anambra State. Now, the sharing of money to some people in Anambra State by the federal government on Wednesday has been described as laughable, deceitful, and a sour joke by a Southeast group, the Igbo Renaissance Forum. The Humanitarian Affairs Minister, Sadiya Farouk, was said to have shared 20,000 naira to some people in the list she came with at Uli Yala local government area of Anambra State on Wednesday. Responding to the development in a statement by its international coordinator, Nze Uguakwe Onwukaoyi, the Igbo Renaissance Forum said it appreciated Farouk for taking the pains in this COVID-19 pandemic period to travel all the way to Huli just to give cash to those who have their names on her list. We also want to quickly intimate the general public, the federal government of Nigeria, and the Southeast political leaders that the cash sharing show, spearheaded by the Minister for Ministry of Humanitarian Affairs and Disaster Management in Huli, Anambra State, was laughable on one hand and gingerly devious at the same time. The statement read in detail, "We were anxiously expecting the Honorable Minister when she showed up at St. Teresa's Catholic Church, Huli, in Hiala local government area of Anambra State on 8th of April 2020 to really surprise us and make the visit worth its while. But unfortunately, even though not surprising, it was a sad, anticlimactic episode. Even though the Minister Sadiya Umar Farouk stated expressly that the federal government has given instructions for 2 months advance of the monthly stipend under the NSIP program be paid to the poorest in the society. It is unfortunate that we didn't see this happen on the ground, as we ask why. For the records, it is interesting to note that there is an outstanding 4 months arrears owed the people with their names on the list that was used for the disbursement in Huli on Wednesday. The arrears owed was what the Honorable Minister came to offset as 20,000 naira was given to the recipients at St. Teresa's Catholic Church Huli in Hiala local government area of Anambra State on 8th of April, year 2020. Our question now is, where is the 2 months advance as directed by the federal government? It is very clear from elementary arithmetic that if 20,000 naira was paid to people, you're already owing 4 months at 5,000 naira monthly. It means that no palliative was offered to the recipient based on the COVID-19 pandemic stimulus package as claimed by the ministry in charge. We are therefore asking that the Honorable Minister to kindly and expeditiously ensure that these individuals get the balance of 10,000 naira representing the cash for the 2 months in advance immediately to help them through these tough times of lockdown and shutdown. Well, judging by this, the federal government of Nigeria gave an order that 20,000 naira should be disbursed to households throughout Nigeria amidst 90,000 Nigerian citizens, and Anambra State is not an exception. Now, when the minister got to Anambra State, Huli local government, she brought a list to disburse 20,000 naira. Now, on this list are names of those that they actually owed 4 months arrears, and this set of people were given 20,000 naira each. Now, they believe that this 20,000 naira is the money they owed these people, their arrears to be exact. Now, if they were given 20,000 naira, that means they have not been given. That means they've not been given the 20,000 naira they actually deserves for this lockdown, so that they could, go through the lockdown without sickness, without hunger and the likes. So this set of people in Anambra State, they are pleading and asking for favor from the federal government of Nigeria that they should please give them their balance to help them through these tough times of lockdown and shutdown. But I believe there is more to it than we can actually see, because if the federal government of Nigeria give the order to disburse 20,000 naira per household, then why would you now liaise the money that you should give them to the money you hold? That doesn't make sense. These are hard times. People need all the help they can get. Please, I believe we can actually do better as a good citizen of Nigeria. Well, I am Akrizi from GStop TV. As you all know, do well to subscribe, do well to click on the notification bell to get notified whenever we drop new videos. And on our social media platforms, do well to follow us at GStop TV. I am Akrizi once again. On our social media platforms, do well to follow me at He's Akrizi. Till next time we meet, stay safe.